Well, for more on the situation in Ohaji Egbema fire incident, we're now being joined by the Director General of the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, Idri Musa. Thank you so much for being here tonight on the program. And let's get straight into it. I do know that yesterday you had released a statement talking about NOSDRA, saying that you are investigating. But what are your initial findings as to what led to the cause of this fire?
Well, thank you very much. Like you did say earlier on, that it's one fire becoming too many. Of course, that is not something that is very impressive to hear, because it is not supposed to be so in the first instance. We have made several efforts to do environmental awareness campaign for people in the oil producing areas about what we call disaster risk reduction, DRR. And the essence of this is to let the host communities of these oil companies and oil companies' facilities know the dangers in tampering with oil facilities. I sent in to you earlier on some of the pictures, because as at 3-4 p.m. today, our officers were still there at that same location that your officer, your correspondent just reported on. And the question is, what kind of activity was going on there? From what we showed to you that you saw, you see that they were actually trading in crude oil and the products from crude oil as have been cooked by these poor fire people, the artisanal refining people. It wasn't a farmland. Pipeline
vandalism or oil bunkering?
Pipeline vandalism is what gives rise to oil theft, because you are not, those who go there to do this are not the asset owners. They are not. Right. They are not oil companies. They are thieves.
Okay. So looking at data as released by NOSDRA, it says between 2015 and 2021, close to 5,000 spills have been detected across Nigeria. This is quite alarming, because the country is losing money to all of this. And of course, even lives, you know, in this kind of situation. What more, beyond investigating when these ugly incidents have occurred, is NOSDRA doing to prevent such from happening in the first place?
Well, it is not what NOSDRA is doing to prevent such in the first place. Part of what NOSDRA did to prevent it, to reduce it, is the awareness campaign we just spoke to you about. We have done this in virtually all the oil producing states across the oil producing areas of Nigeria. We have done that one. Secondly, when it comes to oil spillage, I have said in several fora that when they say oil spill, oil companies, it is not true. On the aggregate, when you aggregate the total number of oil spills incidents in Nigeria, 70 to 75% of it are caused by our own people, not by the activities of the oil companies.
That's by the vandals.
That's the vandals.
So, you know, in securing this pipeline, because we don't have the luxury of time, so we need to address this issue and get to the bottom of it at the end of the day. One would wonder, the youths in those communities, are they part of the security architecture, ensuring that the pipelines are safe?
See, is
it a solution you're proffering?
Let us face the
facts. Avoid all of this.
Let us face the facts. Let us not play the ostrich. When a pipeline is laid and buried, in most cases, should anybody go there in the first instance? We are not the only country producing oil. Have you heard that in Ghana? Have you heard that in Cameroon? Even in the Niger Republic or Chad? Why must anybody in the name of youth go to oil facility where our country has majority share, which also include them, go there to vandalize, go there to install valves on pipelines? And this is the result of what happens in most cases. This is the result of what happens in most cases, because we have not really spoken to the fact. Okay. And let those who
That's why you're here. So what is the fact, and how can we prevent this from occurring in the future and save the country money?
How we can prevent it is to actually prosecute all these vandals. You hear arrest, have you heard of any conviction? You hear of arrest, you don't hear of any conviction. And they keep on going. And some people will even go and hide under his poverty. Poverty doesn't say somebody should be crazy to go and vandalize. Poverty is relative. Poverty should not make you a criminal. It only means that you have to do something tangible to earn a living. But then we need to, as patriotic citizens of this country, begin to focus on how people can live legitimately. Because somebody invests, you heard Minister of State Petroleum Resources say it the other time, people invest, you go there, you vandalize it and take it. Is that how it should be? It shouldn't be that.
Right.
So, and that is why we need to speak to the fact. That's what I mean by we need to speak to the fact and stop covering under one guise or the other. It's
right.
not done anywhere. So why must we allow it to continue happening?
4.5 trillion barrels of oil lost to vandals in a space of 6 years, speaking about 2015 to 2021. Mm-hmm. Your monitoring mechanism, prevention is still what I come back to. How effective are they in preventing such incidents from occurring so that way we avoid the kind of carnage we saw the last 2 days with the loss of lives and all the charred bodies all over the place?
There have been several attempts. If you follow the trend, there have been several attempts whereby host communities were given surveillance contracts to watch over the pipelines and other oil facilities several times. What is the result? It continues. Having given host communities surveillance contracts. You have seen companies giving surveillance contracts. You have NSCDC, an agency of government, playing surveillance over public utilities, of which these pipelines are one. You have the JTF and every other person. But until the communities, host communities, the local government, the state government, join hands with the federal government to ensure that those who engage in these things stop it. We will continue to go round and round and round. As to whether government is trying, federal government has done a lot of made a lot of efforts to stop this, but we still need the cooperation of the local government, the host communities, and the state government.
The communities need to buy in and see this as a national asset that everyone is a beneficiary of.
The national assets belong to the individual, the local government, the state government, and the federal government.
Absolutely. Well,
and we need to protect a national asset.
Protection of national assets and buying into this project, believing that it will benefit all of us, is what you're saying. And of course, we have to prevent them before they happen. Exactly. We'd have to say thank you so much, Idri Musa,
thank you.
Director General, National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA.